program we are discussing how to pass an array element as function argument. So we have already discussed function, we have already discussed array. Now here we are going to discuss this. So for that, first we have to define a function. So here I have defined the function, as you see, void, and function name I have given as display, and the return type I have given as void. That means the function will not return any value. And we have taken two integer type arguments. Now first come to main. As you see, this is my main function. So in the main function I have taken an array called age, and the array is integer type array. That means this array can store integer values, and here is the value of that array, 2, 8, 4 and 12 that we have inserted into the array. After that I am calling the function, display function I have called, and when I call the display function I have passed, that you can see, I have passed some values. What value I have passed? Age array, and as we have declared, this is basically representing the position of the array. So this is the one position of the array, and age array 2 is basically representing the 2 position of the array. So if I consider this array, this is the 0 position element, this is 1 position element, this is 2 position element, and this is 3 position element. So by this basically we are passing 8 as a value argument, and by this element we are actually passing 4 as a element. Now whenever we call the function, it will directly come to that function. This is my function declaration, function body, and we are printing those elements. Now here we have taken two variables, age1 and age2. In age1 it will assign the first element of age array, and in age2 variable it will assign the second element of age array. So basically using this variable we are receiving this value, and using this variable we are receiving this value. Now if I print it, age1 and age2, you see, if I execute it, so we are getting 8 and 4 as out printed, 8 and 4 as output printed. So from that we can say that age1, the value of age1 is 8 and value of age2 is 1. The value of age1 is 8 because the first position element of the age array has assigned to this variable, and by printing age2 we are getting 4. It means that the second element of the age array has been assigned to this age2 variable, and that's why it is get printed. So in that way, by there is an array, and here I have given example with 4 elements, but an array can have a huge number of elements. So we can pass a particular element as an argument to a function. It is a very simple concept. Now in the next program I will show you that how to pass a complete array as an argument. So this is a program through which I will show you that how we can pass a complete array. So when I define the function, you see the return type I have taken as float, and the function name I have given calculate sum. And if you see the argument type, in the argument type we have taken an array of float type. So when we are defining a function, at that time we have to give the argument type, that what kind of argument or what kind of input the function can take. So here as we are going to pass an complete array, so that's why as an argument I have given an array, and also we have to define the data type. that what type of data the function will receive from the array. So this is float age. So age is my array name. Then we come to the main. In main we have a variable result that will find out the, after finding out the sum, we will store the result over there, and we have the array age. You see, this is my array age, and here directly we are taking the inputs. You can take input by runtime also, but here I am just taking the input here. So this is my age array, and the inputs are this in this array. Now here in the next statement we are calling the function calculate sum. Now see that how we are passing the argument. When we pass the argument or when we are passing the array, just by providing the array name we can transfer the complete array. In the previous example I have shown you that how we can pass an individual element. So when we are passing an individual element, we have to pass the array name as well as the position of the element into the array. But here we are not passing only a particular elements of the array. Instead of that we are passing the complete array. So that's why here we have just written the array name. So by using the array name we can pass a complete array as a function argument. Now come to, as soon as we call the function, it will come to the function body. So this is my function body, you see. So in the function body we have taken another array of age. Now in this age array, what value we will get? In this age array, so where we are transferring an array here, so all this complete array 23.4 to 18. So these all values will be transferred, and in this array it will get stored. So we can say this array age and this array age is same. So after coming to that, basically using this for loop logic we are performing the sum. We have you can see 6 elements are there into the array, so the for loop here we are using 6, and this is the logic for finding out the sum of the elements of an array. That already we have done. How we can find out this? So same logic we are applying, and it is returning the sum. The sum that it will return, it will store into the result and it will get printed. Let's see and run the program. So as you can see here, we are getting the result, we are getting the sum. So in that way we can pass and complete array as a function argument just by providing the function name, the array name as an argument. We can pass the complete array into the function. So this is another program that will show that how we can pass two-dimensional array. In the previous I have shown you how we can pass one-dimensional array, and it will show how we can pass two-dimensional array. So to pass the two-dimensional array, while we define the function, as you see in statement number 2, while we define the function, as in the argument declaration, when we are providing the argument type, so here we are mentioning both the row size and the column size. That means it is a two-dimensional array. If it is a one-dimensional array, we have to mention only row. Column is not required. As it is two-dimensional array, so we have to provide both the row size as well as the column size. That already we have discussed in the lecture of two-dimensional array. Now in the main, I have taken the inputs here directly. These are the inputs of the two-dimensional array. So 2 row and 2 column is there. That means 4 elements will be there. 2 into 2. These are my 4 elements. And now here I call the function for display numbers, that I given the same function name here. and this is the body of the function where you can see we are printing it. So similarly you see, so when we have passed a one dimensional array while calling the function, we have passed the function name only. So in case of two dimensional array also it is same. We have to pass only the array name. We need not to pass individual elements. If we just mention the array name, it will transfer the whole array as argument, and that will get stored into this number array. So if I run the program, you see, so here we have taken these inputs 25, 35, 45 and 55, and when we print it here, it is getting printed by using this array num I j. Using this num array we are printing this. So from that we can say that by calling a function by the array name only, it has transferred all the elements into this duplicate array and it has been printed. So this is my original array and this is the duplicate two dimensional array that I have created and that assigned the value over there. So we have already discussed how we can sort an array or different operation, how we can perform different operations on array. Now here I will show that how we can sort an array by using function. So here we have declared or defined the function. So I have defined a function as void type function. So why I have declared the function as void type? Because a function without using pointer we cannot return multiple values in function. Pointer we will discuss, then I will show how we can return multiple values. But using simple function we can return only one value at a time. We cannot return multiple value. But here as we are performing the operation on array, so when the function will perform the task, after that it will not be able to return a complete array, but it can accept an array as an argument, but it cannot return an array directly to the calling function. So that's why we have taken it as a void, and here as an argument I have taken an integer type array, because we are finding out or we are sorting an integer type array, that's why. So this is how we define the function: return type void, function name short, and the argument type is an array declaration. Now in main I have taken an array and called the function simply. The size of array I have taken as 5 and only 5 elements I have considered. You can take n number of elements here and you can take the inputs runtime, and after that I am just calling the array. I am calling the function. So as we have said, when we pass how to pass an array as an argument just by the name of the array. So here I am doing the same thing. While calling the function, I am just passing the array name A. I am just passing the array name A. No more information is there. Now in the function declaration, if I come, so this array that I am passing, that array I am receiving here in this array A5. So this is my actual array and this is a duplicate array I have created to receive this original array. So when calling the function, the array I am passing, here I am receiving the array also. Now here this is the logic behind the sorting operation. The logic behind the sorting operation. We have just compared all the elements. And I have taken a temporary variable for that to perform the swap operation. So we compare the first two elements and check whether the first element, we compare the first and second element and check which one is greater. Depending on that we perform the swap operation. if it is ascending or descending. Depending on that, we have to decide what kind of swap operation we are going to perform. I will show you through a simple video how to perform this sorting operation. So here we have you see we have taken considered this array 23, 41, 25, 54, 18, 14. So 14 is the minimum element and 54 is the maximum element of the array. So 44 will go at the end and 14 will come at the first. So that is how we have to sort the array. So the basic logic of sorting the array is like this. So the first we compare first two elements that we are indicating 23 and 41, and we compare these two elements, and after the comparison we say 23 is less than 41. So when the first element is already less than the second element, we need not to perform, we need not to make any changes here, and we move to the next one. So here we compare the second element and third element now. So in that way basically we have to compare all the elements. So now we compare the second and third element and see that the second element is greater than the third element. So when the previous element is greater than the next element, then we have to make interchange of these two values. That means 25 will come in place of 41 and 41 will take place of 25. So in that, but in the previous it was not there, so we have not make any changes. But here the previous value is greater than the next value, so we change the values, and then we go for the next comparison. So the third position and the fourth position element we are comparing. So again you can see that the third position element is less than the fourth position element. So when the previous element is already less, then we need not to perform any interchange or swap operation, and we move to the next iteration. So here you see we have to interchange 18 and 54 because 18 is less than 54, so the next element is less than the previous element, so we swap the value. Again also we have to swap it because 54 is greater than 14. Okay, so as you see we have compared all the elements one time. For the first time we have compared all the elements, we have compared, and after the first comparison is completed, what we have the maximum element at the end. You see we have the maximum element at the end. Now we have fixed a wall up to which we have to compare, now when we already have the maximum element at the end, so we need not to compare it again. So we can shift the wall, because we have already done it. So that you see, so we have shifted the wall. So 54 we have already segregated. The remaining 5 elements we have to repeat the same process. So first we compare 23 and 25. As 23 is already less, no swap is required. Similarly for 25 and 41, no swap is required. But in 41 and 18, here we have to swap again because 18 is less than 41. So we swap the values. Similarly for 41 and 14, again 41 is less than 41, so we have to swap the value so that the maximum element get at the end. So it's done. So now we have the next highest element at the end. So highest element already we have segregated, and the next highest element we have got at the end. So again we have to move the wall. So here we move the wall, and this process we have to repeat. And you will see after every comparison is completed, we will get the highest element at the end. So let us complete the process. We compare 23 and 25,
25, 18, perform the swap. 25 and 14, again we swap. So 25 at the end. So now we compare 23 and 18. We have to swap. 23, 14, we have to swap. So 23 will be now segregated. Now we have only two elements, 18 and 14. Now after that we are again back to the program, as we have already discussed bubble sort or how to sort an array. So here this logic is basically we are using for that. As you see, using the for loop we are doing the comparison, and here we are comparing the element with the next element, that you see aj and j plus 1 element. So when the value of j will be 0, we are comparing the 0 position and 1 position. When the value of j is 1, we are comparing 1 position and 2 position. When the value of j is 2, we are comparing 2 and 3 position element. So that I have shown in the video that all the element we have to compare to its next element, and if the element is greater than the next element, then we have to perform a swap operation. If the previous element or j element is greater than j plus 1 element, then we have to perform a swap operation. So here we are basically performing the swap operation. So in that way we have to perform, we have to compare each and every element, and depending on the similar condition we have to continue with the swap operation. So now let me run the program and see what inputs we have taken is this, and the output we are getting is this 0, 10, 25, 42, 52. So as you see, my array is already in ascending order. Now the similar program, now here if I just change the condition, previously it was if a j was greater than a j plus 1, it was ascending order. If I just change it to less than, then it means now it will be just opposite. If previously what we have done, we have compared the first and second element. If the first element is greater than second element, we perform the swap operation. But here we will just do the opposite. If the first element is less than the second element, then we will perform the swap operation. And after running the program, you see that here we are getting it in descending order now, from highest to the lowest. So that is how we can sort an array, and as well as I have shown how we can perform this kind of operation by passing array as a function argument. So I have shown how to pass array element or array as function argument, and I have shown you how to perform operation on that also. Now this is a small program that shows how we can pass a string. String is a character array. So how we can pass an entire string as a argument. So as we know that string is nothing but an array of character type where it is terminated by a null character, and string follows all the rules, all the procedures of array. So here also when we are passing an string as argument in function, it is similar to passing an array as argument in function. If you see here, I have defined the function. The name of the function is display string, and as an argument type we are passing a string. That is, data type is character, because we know string name str, so which is similar to passing array. Now come to main. So where I have taken the string of size 50 and I enter the string here. This is my input, and now here is calling the function and passing the string to a function. So when passing the string to a function, you see, similarly as array, we are just providing the string name as an argument. We need not to provide
element number, we need not to provide any information. Just by providing the string name, we can pass the entire string as function argument. And in the function declaration here, we have created a duplicate string, that is str. This is a duplicate string, and this string will receive the entire original string. So whatever value we will insert here due to this getter statement, or whatever value we are going to assign in this string, the entire string will be copied to this duplicate string, because when we call the function, we have passed the entire string by the string name, and then we are printing the string using the putS function. So let me execute it. Error. So as you see, the output we are getting a C programming, because my input string I have just changed it to direct input, C programming, and when we print it within the function, we are getting the same output that we have assigned to the string. So in that it proves that by declaring the string name only as argument, we can pass an entire string through a function. So this is a simple program that shows how to find out frequency of character in a string. So this is a problem that we are going to solve by using the concept of function, and where I will pass the entire string as a function argument. So as you see the function definition, where we have return type is integer, because it will return the frequency. The function name I have given as frequency, and the argument I am passing is, you can see this is, I am passing a string and an individual character, basically for which we are going to find out the frequency. Now coming back to main, so here we take the input of the string, and this is the character C for which we are going to find out the frequency. That means how many times we have to count C is present over here, how many times. Now here we are calling the function, as you see frequency function I have called, and what I am passing both the entire string I am passing, and the entire string I am passing just by the string name, and as well as I am passing the ch variable that basically I used for counting, searching. Then we come to the function body. In the function body, we receive the string. This is the string that is receiving the entire string here, and this is the variable that is receiving the character C. So str, this string is duplicate of the original string str, and ch is the variable that is receiving this ch variable that I am passing while calling the function. Now I have taken a variable count, which is initially 0, because count will start from 0. And here this is the for loop that we consider for string, that already we have discussed while discussing different programs using string. So when we check or we compare the character that we are searching for with all the elements of the string, when the value of I is equal to 0, it will compare the character and the 0 element of the string. When the value of I is 1, it will compare the character and the 1 element of the string. In that way, this comparison will continue until it reaches to null, because null is identifying the end of the string, and whenever the comparison is true, we are increasing the value of the count, because we are counting that how many times the character is present into the string. So every time we are comparing, if there is a match, then we increase the value of count, and after that it returns the value of count, which will be assigned to this count variable, as you see, and we are printing this. Now let me execute the program and see. So as you see, frequency of the character C is 3. So here C is present 3 times, 1 2 3. So in that way we can find out the frequency of any character present in a string, and that is we are doing by the concept of function.